Hey everybody, I'm back at work for the new semester. I'm really excited. I'm in a meeting, but I wanted to say hi. I'm going to try to do a vlog again today, and I'm so excited that you've chosen to click on the video. So see you in a little bit. Okay, what a great meeting. We are back for the college semester. I'm so excited to greet my students who are coming back and then to meet the new students who are coming to our classes for the first time. I had a very brief meeting, and I think I'm going to go ahead and get my skincare and stuff done. I'm working remotely, and so I'm able to turn the video off on my meeting. And since everything's projected on the screen, and I think in the Zoom meeting, I'm up there too, I try, not to be distracting by staring at everybody who might be on site in the meeting. So it gives me an opportunity to go ahead and, just for my own self-esteem, go ahead and do what I need to do with my face, and maybe we'll have time for a little get ready with me, even if it's just portions of my process. So yay! Love y'all so much, and thank you again for watching. If you have a moment and you feel so moved, please subscribe. Click all with notifications up in the right part of that part of the screen for YouTube. And did I say like? I would love it if you would like that. I would love it if you would like the video. And then again, subscribe, notifications, comment. I would love to hear from you. And then share if you feel like it's something to share. So I will be back in just a little bit. It will be a blink of the eye with the video to see you and to do a little get ready with me. That's going to be little again. Take care. See you in a second. Okay. So I don't know if I recorded what I've done already, but I will start now. I'll list the products again below, but I am using our new ring light, our new little tripod on top of a FabFitFun box. And then I'm using this Checks and Balances by Origins, Origins. And this is the Milky Oil Cleanser and Makeup Melter, and it's fabulous. I only use this when I'm wearing makeup, which I won't be doing today, and when I just want to get a fresh start to the week. And since today is a Monday, I'd like to do that. And we're getting a new semester, as I mentioned earlier. This cleanser is phenomenal, and I only have to just do a couple of little like that. You don't have to shake it up really hard to get that mixed up. And then I go in when I'm doing a double cleanse with that, and then I use the Checks and Balances Frothy face wash. I have been using this for years, and I absolutely love it. Again, it's a product by Origins. And then, and I apologize, I'll probably have to, if I did up to here, I'm going to have to I'm going to have to go back and reset the video because I'm not sure how much I actually videoed last time, but I'll figure that out. That's my job, not yours. So I am going in and just lightly with my toner. And this is my second layer of toner. This is Dr. Andrew Weil, Weil, for Origins Mega Mushroom Relief and Resilience. Y'all, this is the advanced formula now. It is phenomenal. I have been using this for years as well, and I recently got this new bottle which will last me a long time, and that's what makes up for it being a little on the pricey side, for my opinion. Now, some people may look at it and go, oh, it's not pricey at all, but for me, it is. Let's go ahead then and follow. So cleanse and then tone. And then this is Origins Plantscription Multi-Powered Youth Serum. I've been using this for long enough that the label has even started to wear off a little bit. This stuff is liquid gold. I would typically put this in from like here to here, but I don't want to pull my clothes down, right? Nobody wants to see that. So I'm going to put this on my neck and my face, and I just put like a big sweet pea size amount, and it just emulsifies at, I feel like I'm being gentle, but it probably looks like I'm beating myself up on here, but It just, and I sweep it over my eyes. I don't know if you're supposed to do that. So obviously refer to the directions, consult with your own folks, but, and I try to sweep up when I can remember to. I'm not always fantastic at that. Let me check the time because I do have a work meeting, but I think we're good. I know we're good. We're good. So that was the serum level. So cleanse, tone, serum. And then I've just got one more level to go if I'm not going to be out in the sun. If I'm out in the sun, or if I'm going to even be in the window very much, I go ahead and use sunscreen, of course. But this is, I'll put it on, then I'll show you the product. I refuse to feel rushed by the fact that I know I have a meeting. Now I'm putting on too much, but it's really dry today. Typically I would put on a fraction of this, but my cheeks get super dry. So let's take, I pull it down to the neck and then go up to be gentle with the skin on my neck. And I really don't try to rub it all in. I let it soak in a little bit since this is going to be the last thing of the day. I would or not of the day, but this is going to be the last thing of this skincare session. I really like to get this moisturizing cream, and I put, again, there's a lot, that's why I'm rubbing more, but I'm just going to let it kind of sit there because really nothing else is going to go on top of it. And this is the Origins Youthtopia, Youthtopia, Peptide Plumping Apple Cream. This is a relatively new product, and I've just started using this. So I don't know. Again, I'm working with a ring light. Ooh, that might be better. I'm learning. So that's what that looks like anyway, even if it wasn't necessarily readable. Now, when I'm going to use, sunscreen, I really have been liking two versions. There's one that doesn't have any kind of glow in it, but this is the e.l.f. This is the e.l.f. Skin, eyes, lips, and face, and it's really affordable. And this is the 30 Broad Spectrum SPF Sunscreen in Whoa Glow, WHOA Glow. I'm not going to use this today. I'll use it in a future video, but I'll use this one when I want a little glow to my sunscreen. And then e.l.f. makes another one that I don't have to hand right now that doesn't have any glow in it. And it is, it's got, I think this is infused with hydrating aloe, hyaluronic acid, and squalene. This lightweight SPF 30 creates a glowing radiance while priming for long-lasting makeup wear. So that's where that is. So it's neat because it's it's sun and also a primer, which is really cool because I do sometimes use a primer. Really, to be honest, sometimes I forget where I am in stuff and I do the wrong thing. I'm gonna put way too much eye cream on. I just put it on my ring fingers because I want to be really gentle with my eyes, and I'll share the product with you after. It's going to be, I guess, the first Gerda Spillmann product that I use for a Get Ready With Me. It's my first Get Ready With Me, but this will be my first, and it's a really good one. This is a super good product, y'all. Oh, it's so good. Okay, it feels good. I've got to do more tapping and less spreading on my eyes. It's better to tap like this and just let it kind of sit there and absorb for a while I'm doing that. See, I can already feel the stuff on my face is like it's so thirsty in the traditional sense. Man, the words and what they mean now. This is Gerda Spillmann's Eye Region Cream. I have literally been using this off and on for, oh my gosh, how many years? Since I was 17 or 18. But it doesn't matter. I stopped using it and then I restarted once I decided to invest in Gerda Spillmann because it is not cheap. Again, that depends on who you are, right? And what your budget is for skincare. And any of that is absolutely fine. And you can find things that are wonderful in a $5 to $10 range, things like that. It depends on how sensitive your skin is. My skin is fairly sensitive. It's pretty sensitive. I have a high rube factor, so you can see my pink cheeks, right? A high rube factor means I have a lot of pink and red underneath my skin. You may already know that, but that's what that means. And then that is one of the reasons. An eye area really is something I want to look out for because the eyes tend to age more quickly. for me anyway. And so, and that's okay. I don't mind looking my age at all, but I want to take care of my skin. The wrinkles aren't really a problem, but it's the aging from the perspective of the health of my skin. And this is Eye Region Cream. And let me see if that will even, let me get that up close to the camera and away from the light. Again, I can't see, so I don't know. I'm going to have to figure something out for that. But this is Gerda Spillmann, which this will all be linked below. Swiss Cosmetics since 1944. I don't know if they still are, but they used to be the official skincare for the Swiss ski team and for other people. Gerda Spillmann has been used a lot in TV. The Biofond makeup, which I'll show you in another video, has been used a lot in television. And so it gives a really nice finish. It's Biofond's amazing. Biofond, B-I-O-F-O-N-D, is amazing skincare and makeup. I don't sleep in my makeup, but everybody's always said you can sleep in Gerda Spillmann Biofond and it won't hurt your skin at all. You may hear one of the cats trying to get in. I think that's Gus. Right. If you've watched the shorts of Gus watching TV, you've met him. So that's what that is. That's my Eye Region Cream. And again, it lasts for a long time, even when every now and then I put on a super extra amount. And then once my Eye Region Cream is on, I'm done, right, with my skincare. And think about how quick that would have been if I hadn't been running my mouth. Of course, I love to be running my mouth because I love talking to you and I love you. But that's kind of what it looks like. I'm going to put my glasses on for a second. Pardon me for the reflection. And, you know, I look a little shiny right now, but that will dull, and I hope I'll be able to show you that when I come back on. But initially, I'm shiny and I'm a little red, but then it comes back down to the normal hue that I carry most of the time. If I'm thinking about it later, I may show you one level of makeup. Not if I'm thinking about it. If I have time, of course, I'm thinking about you. But I may have an opportunity to show you just one level of the makeup that I use most of the time. Occasionally, I use Biofond. I have little things of it because, again, it's kind of expensive. I'm sorry if it's been shaking at all, but I really can't say. I know I've said that a million times. I'm going to stop making excuses. Right? The great nurse Florence Nightingale said that she attributed her success to neither making or taking excuses, and so I'm not going to make those. However, as we end the skincare segment, and hopefully that was helpful to you or just enjoyable to watch, I have on my Never Give Up shirt. This is my sweatshirt from Mindy Minks, who is a person who's my inspiration for really doing a YouTube channel. I've loved her day in the life vlogs and get ready with me vlogs for so long that I was like, you know what, I could do that and maybe help people too, because Mindy's helped me an awful lot. I will link her down in the description as well. She is getting ready to have her baby girl, her second baby, and it's so exciting. I've been watching her for years and following their family. She and her husband started their channel and kind of their stuff on being in an age gap relationship. And that's fine, right? That's absolutely fine. But that's not the reason that I watch. I just love them so much now. And that's the reason I watch. So I'll link them below as well. And their beautiful little boy, Liam, and baby girl on her way. They have not announced, I'm saying too much, they have not announced the baby's name yet, but I want to go on record as thinking that there's going to be Julie in the name, Julie in the name. I keep spelling because I'm a teacher and I have to spell things for people sometimes. Oh, I may have spat a little. You're not in any danger because of the way that we connect with each other. So this was a design that they did for t-shirts and sweatshirts when they were initially going through their IVF journey, in vitro fertilization journey. It's just a really neat story. I won't spoil all of it for you, even though I already did say baby girl, but you're going to look at the titles now and see that, even if you know, I don't know. I'm sorry if that was a spoiler, but it's just been a joy to watch with them. And Mindy is so resilient, and so is Larry. Liam is such a sweet little boy. So if you like to watch day in the life vlogs, she does all different kinds of vlogs. She's a real Harry Potter fan too. And they go to Universal quite a bit. So that's fun. And they have friends like Peter the Potter Collector, who is, I think that's Potter Collector is what it is. And I'll link him below too, because he's their friend and sometimes they go and do stuff together and stay with each other on trips and things. So that is it for now. I'm going to go into another meeting, and I think you can kind of see my skin already beginning to calm down a little bit, right? We've still got some high rube factor over here, but it's a very dry day. And initially when that stuff is soaking in, my skin may get a little, I don't know, pinker, but then everything calms down and it all goes to work once it gets in there and does its thing. So again, I'll see you in a little bit. I'm going to go to a meeting. I'm so excited. This is our school meeting. So this is actually a it's divine. It's a combined school meeting, and then we break out into our individual schools. I'm in the School of Arts and Sciences. So it's so exciting to be back for another semester. Teaching is so rewarding, and I'm just privileged and blessed to do it, as I am to talk to you. Love you, and be back in a little bit. Hey again, y'all. I turned the meeting down in the background because people are just chit-chatting and waiting for it to start. I had a little chat to my colleagues, and then I totally came back in to show you my lip product, as promised, is Petroleum Jelly. Nourishing, wonderful, and it gives you that little shine, which is kind of cool. Now, the other thing I do is I slug, and I just really lightly, because I don't want to pull that skin under my eyes, really lightly, I just kiss my skin with, well, wouldn't that be funny? Look, I kiss my skin with that, and then if it feels dry on my eyelids, I'll put it up there too. Again, consult with your own doctor about using these products on your skin to make sure that it's the right choice for you, especially if you are blessed with a dermatologist. And I'm going to turn the ring light on again. I realize you can see my redness has gone down from the last time. It gets a little bit more with the ring light depending on what I'm putting. Y'all just bear with me. And I'm going to get to the most realistic view of my skin that I can find. I'm going to have to get super close. That's probably about it. So, again, just a little shine there. And if I want to, I will also put a little bit, like I said, my cheeks can be super dry. So I'll just put, and I'm not going to rub it in totally, right? This creates a skin barrier. And a lot of dermatologists are saying, and today my nose is kind of dry, to be honest, but a lot of dermatologists are saying that this is still one of the best ways, and to get that moisture locked in on top of all my products. Now, one of the things I want to add is that I am starting a podcast very soon. And so I can announce that the podcast title is, the title of the podcast from here on out is going to be Eat You a Banana. And I will tell you why Eat You a Banana in the podcast and also in the videos to come, but I'm still working out the details on that. It's going to be exclusively, and I don't know where I'm looking, y'all, I'm going to try to look at it. It'll be exclusively content about stories from my family. And Eat You a Banana has been an echo through my life, and I'll share why here and on the podcast. But I wanted to sneak back in and show you how I use just a regular type of Vaseline petroleum jelly. It doesn't have to be name brand, to come in and seal some of that moisture in. And sometimes I'll just do this and not put on makeup, a lot of the time, to be honest. But when I do put on makeup, I use Laura Geller and sometimes Gerda Spillmann Biofond. And I'm going to come back in and talk Biofond and come back in and talk more about that at a future date, maybe in this vlog, maybe in another vlog. But I hope that helped, and you can just see it like transforms the radiance of your face just with those little steps. So again, I'm probably going to say this totally often and too much because I do anyway. I say this to my husband, to my sons, to my friends, to my colleagues. I just said it to my colleagues, actually. I love you so much, and I'll be back in a bit. Okay, everybody, new semester. Makeup for the, oh, this is going to be interesting to do because I'm going to have to scooch up here because I can't see from back here. We'll work that out. I'm going to do one side with the Laura Geller, and I'm going to use 2 different brushes. I'm going to put on some, what I would use for foundation, typically on any given day. Let me turn on this light back. Oh, okay. I'm going to pause so you don't have to look at the contortion. Hey everybody, back for some base foundation and powder work, and I'm going to show you what I would typically do. I'm going to go ahead and pull out another product here, but I'm done with my meeting. It was all really great. Learned so much new stuff for the new semester. Still trying to figure out where to look with my light, because it doesn't look like my eyes. It looks like I'm looking up, but I don't know. I can't see unless I do like that. But anyway, typically before I put on the products I'm about to use, I would use, I'm not going to do this today because I don't want to have a whole lot to wash off my face, because I've already I did that too, but I've already double cleansed for today with the products I showed earlier. But for now, I want to show you that I would typically use the Laura Geller Spackle Skin Perfecting Primer. Hydrate, and it moisturizes and replenishes. And again, I don't know how to know if that's focusing like it should, but we'll learn more about that. And I would use that on my face, and then in my eye area, this one's going to be kind of difficult to see because it's very, very light. Oh my gosh, is it going to focus? Y'all, there's a camera in our future, no offense to the phone. But okay, so this is the Laura, I don't even know where I was pointing it to be honest. Laura Geller, again, and this is Spackle Illuminating Under Eye Primer. If I'm not mistaken, and I may be mistaken, so just take this with a grain of salt, I think Oprah might have putting on the rinse. Oprah might have put this on her favorites list. So this is just for the eye area, and it's magical. And again, I'm not monetized by any of these things I'm mentioning yet. In a moment, just on that. The reason I'd like to be monetized primarily is because it might help us to defray the cost of what we spend every month on our cat food and cats products, right? So litter for the inside cats, cat food, when we buy straw for the outside cat beds so they can be safe for the feral cat colony. Lots of stuff if medicine comes up or things like that, we need to go to the vet. That sort of thing, because we really want to not just say we're taking care of cats. We want to really take care of cats. If we get a new cat at the feral cat colony and we need to, it's unfortunately called trap and neuter release or spay release, we pay a portion of that. We have a special clinic here and a special price point, and we get a little bit off with the Animal Defense League, but not very much. But that's okay, because we can do it, but it is a stretch sometimes when it's a particularly difficult month. So that's kind of my goal, is just to get some of this kind of sponsorship and to get a lot of views and hours, public watch hours for YouTube, so that we can offset some of those pet costs. Again, we don't mind paying it, but wouldn't it be nice if that were just the fruit of these videos? That would be such a blessing to all of us. So that, and so the spackle in the under eye I would put on ahead of time, but I'm not going to today. So I'm just putting this on over my skincare that I did earlier in the day, actually much earlier in the day, and I've been in several hours of meetings, so you can see, how that would look. It's just c'est moi. So this, on one side, I'm just going to use the Laura Geller Filter Finish Radiant Setting Powder in powder in Universal. So that's what that looks like. That's nice and bold there. So that's what that looks like. It's a lovely compact. It's actually metal, and I can get into it. And then it's got a full mirror, and I don't want to blind anybody with that, but it's a multi-tint, and this is again in Universal. So I'm just going to put this first on one side of my face to see how much of a difference this makes. So I'm just going to swipe it in there a few times and put that on one side of my face. So that just kind of blurs things a little bit, but it's still obviously the red and things. Now, typically I would also use a concealer, just in little places, and it would be, this one is looks like this. Let's see if it'll focus at all. I'm sorry if it's blurry. I'm going to fix that, y'all, at some point in the near future. But this is the Ideal Fix Concealer. And I would use this probably under my eyes and then drag it around a little bit to cut down on some of this rube factor, the redness and pinkness in my face. So I'm going to go ahead then and come in on this side of my face with Baked, Balance, and Brighten in the shade Fair. And this is, oh, I just love this stuff. This is such a good foundation. This is, again, I'll do one with the Gerda Spillmann Biofon just to give you some comparison. But I'm going to come in with the powder. I used a Perfect 10, the MOTD, a Perfect 10 brush. And it's this nice fluffy brush. And then I'm going to come in with the actual Laura Geller full face powder brush. Now there's also a kabuki brush. Let's see if I can find that in my little bag here, my little ditty bag. Yeah, here it is. There's also a kabuki brush. If I want fuller coverage with the Baked and Brighten by Laura Geller, and everything will be linked, I'm going to come in with this kabuki brush, right? So that's the Laura Geller shiny, the Laura Geller kabuki brush. And so it's retractable, which is really neat. It's like you don't have to wind it down. You just pull it up like that. You see how that worked? Isn't that cool? Just pull it up. It telescopes out, and then I can put the lid back on it without worrying about trapping any of the bristles, and just put it back down like that. So that's the kabuki brush. And again, if I wanted with this foundation, if the Baked, Balance, and Lighten, and again, the shade Fair for me, if I wanted this to be a heavier coverage, I would go ahead and use the kabuki brush. And of course, I'd have the primer on ahead of time, which I don't have right now, but I'm just going to tap a little bit of that off. And for each section, I'm coming in with a new swipe of this, or a few swipes. Go down on my jawline a little bit. And I'll do a full face at some point in there. So you can see, this is, I hope you can see, this is redder than this was. So this is taken out, and that's just a light coverage. So I'll go to this side of the face and do the same thing. Again, doing separate little swipes here for, and this is, y'all, can't even tell you how long I've been using this. Of course, that is also to say that I do not wear makeup every day. So that's all that took, right? And it's buffed out a little bit of the red and brought me a little closer to matte. I'm not so interested anymore in being completely matte. This is going to be an interesting thing to do this with, and I'll tell you what I've used in a moment. And I'll come in. This is a little untinted brow gel is what that is. And it just, if you notice, it just kind of defines my brows and makes them, I went and put a big glop on there. And I need to get them either threaded or plucked, or I just need to do it myself. I'm capable of doing it myself, which is I typically do. And when I do that, I'll show you the product. I have a really great OG product that is awesome for doing brows in a really simple way if you know what you want. So this that I just used on my brows is, and this is really bright, and I'm not even pretending that I know whether or not you can read that, but now that you've seen it, this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel. And Anastasia Beverly Hills is such a great product. It's also a really expensive product, but this is something that came in an Ipsy bag. I no longer have an Ipsy subscription because I got so backed up on products. If you don't know what Ipsy is, it's IPSY. It's something I'll also need to link below, and be happy to do that. And this, I've been using this because, again, I don't wear makeup every day. And I've got a couple of these, not a couple of Anastasia Beverly Hills, but a couple of the clear brow gels. And so it's been a while that I've been using it. It doesn't take very much. And you can see just like, now it's a much more put together look just with the swipe of, there's powder under there, right? And if I wanted to, I would have done this before the brow gel. I could come back in and do some more of the universal setting powder. I just wanted to give you, to show you that the powder itself really does do a good job, even just by itself. So, I mean, this is quite different from what you were seeing before, and you saw how simple it was. I mean, literally, if I weren't explaining putting that on and I were putting it on, that would have only taken like seconds, right? So that is the way that looks. Again, I will link everything so you can see it. Again, different price points. I find Laura Geller to be, ooh, I made the tripod shake. I find Laura Geller actually to be a really affordable price point for makeup, especially for foundation, because not only because it's a good price, I think, originally, but also it lasts a long time. And I have a tendency not to buy things unless they're on sale. So I'll plan out, say, my Origin skincare purchases when I know that they typically have sales. And I'll find that out and report that back to the group, right? But typically I don't pay full price for pretty much anything because I'm looking for the sales. Now, sometimes with the Gerda Spillmann products, and I only buy those so infrequently, it's not very often. So with the Gerda Spillmann products, there's usually not a sale going on, and that's okay, but I just use accordingly. There are certain situations in which I will use the different foundation, the Gerda Spillmann foundation, which I will link below. One of the cool things about Gerda Spillmann, one of the many cool things, I love the Laura Geller stuff. One of the many cool things is it's an expensive product if you buy the Biofon. And again, you may go and go, lady, that is not that expensive, but that's okay. Don't go, lady, go Patty, because we're friends. But you can order like a shade family from Gerda Spillmann, and you can get, and again, I'll do a whole video on this at some point. You can bring back in a shade family, bring back in. I don't know where you'd be bringing them back in for, but you can order them. And I think it's $5 a piece for the little shades, and they may have a special deal going at some point in the year, but I'm not sure. And you can try, they give you little tiny cute, if you like miniature stuff, cute compacts. That the reason I keep doing this is because they're about this big, so that you can try a couple of times a shade or a family of shades to see which one works best for you, since they know you're making an investment when you buy the foundation. I want to say that the full-size foundation is around $70 maybe, and I think it's $65 to $70 now, but those prices are subject to change. And the little things I think are still like $5 per shade. And then I'm trying to think of the prices. I can't think of the price of the other product that I use today, the under eye gel, or under eye cream. And the rejuvenation that I mentioned earlier. So this is what it looks like, right? And if I want to, bring down my hair, this is what it looks like. I had my hair up today because it was a fresh wash, and I put it on top of my head sometimes just because my hair is relatively fine. I have a lot of hair, but it's really, really fine, each little hair. And so I will, I don't know what's going on in there. Everybody's okay though, if you heard noises. I will bring it back a lot of times to put on my makeup, and then I just leave it back. And if I'm wearing earrings, which typically I would be, you'll see it sort of morph as we get more into the semester time with the videos. I wanted to share with you too, I just looked at it and I just touched it. I have this one ball earring over here, right? And just this one. In my second hole, I have an ear hole here. I have an ear hole here, but I have a piercing here, and a piercing here, and a piercing here, and a piercing here. So I have two on each ear. The bottom ones are from when I was like 8 years old. There's a funny story that goes with my piercing. I'll just go ahead and tell it. My sister was terrible, and I'm still having a hard time knowing where to look because I can't really see very well. So I'm just going to look here and look at the camera, or look at the dot and make that make sense. So anyway, my sister wanted her ears pierced when we were in Texas, and she was in her teens really badly. I mean, I think she was about 15, and my mom said no. And then when I was 8, of course, there's a lot of years different, a lot of years. There are many years between my sister and I. She's the elder. And, Mom wouldn't let her. My mom wouldn't let her. Well, they sneaked. She and my cousin went to, the cousin is 7 years older than my sister, went to sneak and get it done. And my sister passed out. And that's the reason, the only reason my mother had said no, apparently, was because she knew that needles were not my sister's thing and that she would probably be sick or pass out and it would be a bad experience. And so that happened, and we all learn our lessons in different ways. Lord knows I've learned many of mine in similar ways. But when I wasn't afraid of needles, and when I was 8, we just happened to be around a safe place to get my ears pierced, and I was just like, hey, Mommy, can I get my ears? And she was like, yeah, this could be a part of your birthday present, because it was close to my birthday, I think. Like, yeah, that was close to my birthday. And so we got them pierced, and we came home, and my sister was like, what? She's only 8 years old. And my mom was like, yeah, but she didn't pass out. So. And I'm like, no offense, man, no offense. Let's don't cause any of those unnecessarily difficult sibling moments, because we definitely had them anyway. So anyway, these are since I was 8, so these are 56 minus 8, right? And then these were in high school, but then they closed up, and I got them redone a few years ago. And I try to keep something in them all the time, and I have to use good metals most of the time. If I don't, my ears will tell me about it. I don't know if that's something you enjoy as well. But this is one here just because I lost the other one. And I'm going to need to call and I'll talk about the jewelry company that I use quite a bit. It's not an expensive place. It's more expensive than costume jewelry, but it's not crazy expensive. We're not talking thousands of dollars. I can't spend that money on jewelry. And I don't really have a whole lot of good jewelry. I mean, what I have is what's important to me. I don't really want a whole lot. But this comes from a company called James Avery, and it's just a little tiny dude right there. That's a silver ball stud. And the other one just disappeared. I don't know if we're going to find it sometime cleaning up, but it's so tiny. It was the same. And I just left those in all the time because James Avery, I might have just already said that. I'll talk about it in another video and link it below. But the whole idea was they did match. But the silver is so good, and I do so well with the James Avery, the level of silver that they use, that I just didn't put one back in here. So I may have to go... actually, I'm going to call them and ask them if they sell them singly. And if they don't, it was inexpensive enough that I might just ask for the set again for, I don't know, Valentine's Day or something like that, even though we don't usually give presents, my husband and I, to each other on Valentine's Day. But this year I might get something, because there has to be an occasion, right? It has to make it special. So that's the story of why there's one earring there, right? And I'll try to level that out for y'all and try to make that better. So at any rate, that's what it looks like when there's a little foundation on, which, I like. I'm going to put these back on for a second and see how well I did. Oh, that's good. That's okay. I like that. So it's just a natural look. And again, I reapplied after I ate lunch. I had a delicious wrap. And once I ate lunch, I reapplied my petroleum jelly on my lips. And sometimes I do use the petroleum jelly as a base for everything, but I also use EOS. So I'll put that on there when I need something that's a little more portable. Now, you can get, it's just a little bit too expensive for me to do it this way, but you can get little tiny, specifically made for lip versions of the petroleum jelly, and some of those you can get the regular, or you can get some that have a little bit of tint to them. But this is just the EOS, which you may have seen in stores. I got this at Target, and this is vanilla bean, and it's a little flavor on there that's good. Another thing that's a daily companion for me that I mentioned actually in a video a while back, my first video, I think, when I was talking about being outside the library and my son being a volunteer at the library, is my what is it? Is it Ozark Hills or something like that? I'm gonna have to link it again, I think. This is my 40 ounce. My goal is to drink 3 or 4 of those in a day, and my new goal, based on what Countess of Shopping said, I linked her in a different video, is to get those primarily wrapped up with drinking them by about noon or 1. Because if you don't, you know what happens. You don't sleep very well, and we'll just leave it at that. So that is, I believe, the vlog for the day. And we're going to probably have some lovely 15 bean soup tonight with turkey sausage in it. My husband made a big batch of that, and I think he's going to make me some cornbread. I am on primarily mostly a plant-based diet. I will have a little turkey and a little chicken, but that having been said, I don't miss out on anything because my husband's an incredible cook. He does all the cooking, all the cleaning, all the everything. We used to joke that, we had a gender non-conforming sort of marriage, but it's really just teamwork, right? It's just teamwork. So he takes care of all the household stuff. I'm going to get more into why that ended up being that way when I tell you in another video the story of how our son was born and why we made the decisions that we did about our family. In the meantime, I will be doing that soon, but in the meantime, I want everyone to have such a beautiful day. Thank you for hanging out with me. Please like, comment, subscribe. Turn on the notification bell if you subscribe. And I don't mean to make anybody feel guilty, and you do what's best for you, but the more subscribers and watch time we get, you're feeding kittens. No pressure. Love you guys. I should say love y'all, right? But I'll appeal to many different American cultures. Yins. We lived somewhere where people said yins at one point. So may happen here too. I'm going to stop rambling and take myself off to edit this video together. And I hope everyone feels so loved and knows how loved they are. And I'm going to ask you to go in peace and love to serve others.